Hey everybody, David here, and today I am going to be talking about Obi Wan Kenobi Part 6. That's right, this show has finally come to an end. What did I think of it? I'm going to give my spoilery thoughts right on top, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on the series overall right after. So let's get right into this episode. What did I think of it? This is a great finale. I was super satisfied from what I saw from beginning to end. I thought there were some really great emotional moments in this episode. I thought there was a great battle that we were promised. I thought there were two battles going on at the same time. One of them I liked, but I feel a little conflicted about how it went down. Let's just start with that one then. Reva, whatever you want to call her. Um, I actually thought the character, unlike most people, it seems like I thought the character of Reva was good. I liked her character arc. Were there times where she was a little annoying? Maybe. But for the most part, I thought she had an arc that was interesting, especially in these last two episodes, that kind of brought her full circle. And now when you look back at it, it's like, okay, she was on this dark path, and just like some predicted, she kind of came back to the light side. She realized she was going to be like Anakin, and she realized maybe I don't want to be like that. So that storyline was fine. I thought it was cool though that Aunt Beru, and Uncle Owen were doing anything they could to protect Luke. I love that. I love seeing that they were both given a lot more to do than any of the prequels or the original films ever gave Beru and Owen, who were always just like the aunt and uncle that were just there to take care of their son until he was old enough to go on his own. So yeah, it was great seeing them get all, especially Beru when she pulls out the gun and gives it to Owen. It's like, whoa, this is a Beru I never knew existed. So it was kind of cool getting that kind of attention towards these characters who really, other than looking after Luke, didn't really do much in previous movies before. I never read the novels or the comics, so I don't know what goes on in there, if they ever did anything this drastic before, but to me it was cool. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. Obi Wan Kenobi, front and center of this entire series. This was his journey from the beginning, and we get to see the battle between between Obi Wan and Vader. First, I really love the emotional moments between him and the people on the ship, specifically, obviously, with Leia, because obviously this journey started with Leia, and to see him and her hug and embrace, and, him realizing that it was her that got him to return to who he was, to find himself again, I thought was really great. There was maybe a little teary eyed going on during these emotional moments, and I really did like how he was telling everybody, look, you guys put your lives out for the Jedi. Let me do the same for you. And I like that he went out to, because it does feel very Obi-Wan Kenobi like. And then obviously when we get to the battle between Obi-Wan and Vader, that was really great as well. I really loved the entire battle. And then I was worried at one point when Vader, um, buried Obi-Wan under the rubble. I thought, oh, is that how it's gonna end? Is Obi-Wan, is he gonna think Obi-Wan's dead? Because he did call him Master. So to kind of, back in the original film, the last time we met, you were the master and I was the learner, but now things have turned around, or something like that. I know I butchered that line badly, but so I thought maybe, okay, that was the last time he was the master, and he acknowledged it, and I was worried, oh, is that how the fight's gonna end? But then no, Obi-Wan gets out and then just annihilates Darth Vader, which makes sense. Okay, Obi-Wan is still the master, so, and teaching his apprentice, another lesson of the day. So I thought that was great. And then when you see the cracked helmet in Anakin's face on how he really looks today, and then you hear Hayden Christensen's voice, I thought was terrifying and awesome at the same time. I was loving it, and even that scene was really emotional. The way the guilt that Obi Wan was starting to feel, and eventually him, admitting to himself, "Look, there's this guy is far gone. So you know what? I'm gonna acknowledge him as of what he wants to be." When Anakin says, "You weren't the one that killed Anakin Skywalker. I did." I thought that was great. All of that stuff between Obi Wan and Vader was terrific. The fight lived up to the hype. I was just a little confused on why it was taking place in this rock looking area and not on Mustafar, because there was artwork that showed that they were supposed to fight on a lava planet, and maybe they changed that during production. I don't know. Maybe they thought at the last minute, yeah, you know what? We don't need to go back to Mustafar. Although after the battle and Vader goes back to his place, nice little cameo from the Emperor. I just want to say that seeing the Emperor there, and then hearing the Imperial March theme. That was really great. That was kind of like the moment where, okay, now he is the Vader that we know, because the conversation that the Emperor was having with him, I thought it was great, because it was saying, look, if you can't let go of your past, then I don't know if we can do this. But that was the moment where Vader says, okay, you know what? I'm letting go of my past. So he didn't have that obsession anymore with searching for Obi-Wan. Basically, what the show was trying to tell us was that when he was hunting down Jedi a lot in the beginning, it was mostly really to find Obi Wan Kenobi. And this is where, okay, you know what? I'm not going to search for any more Jedi. If we find them, we'll kill them. But my search for Obi Wan is now done. I'm not going to hold on to that obsession anymore. And I'm just going to focus on helping the Emperor with his mission. Um, so, yeah, that was great. I love that. Of course, I gotta talk about the Liam Neeson cameo as well. Liam Neeson showing up as Qui-Gon was really nice. Him going, I was always there, Obi-Wan, you just couldn't see me yet. And because that was like kind of the final thing that Obi-Wan needed to do. He needed to embrace the Force again because he let it go. So now Qui-Gon can get into the training with Obi-Wan on how to become a Force ghost, which is what he needed to do by the end of this. So if that cameo wasn't in this episode, I would have been severely disappointed. Because why set it up then? So a lot of people were guaranteeing that he was going to be in it, and I'm glad they got him in it. What kind of had me worried is when Liam Neeson said a couple months ago, "Oh yeah, no, I'm never gonna do TV," even though apparently he did do some television. He even did some appearances on the Clone Wars animated show. So I don't know what he was thinking, how people would buy into that lie. Maybe some people did. There was a part of me that maybe did, and that's why I was a little worried if he didn't show up. But I'm super glad he showed up. It was nice to see that little reunion between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. And I love the goodbye to Bail Organa as well. I thought that was nice because we know the next time Bail Organa is going to reach out to Obi-Wan is in Rogue One. So and that leaves that open over there. Although I kind of got the impression that maybe that Leia could and him could still cross paths together, because they kind of say, "Hey, look, let's hope nothing happens. But if you do need me again, you know, you know where I am." So yeah, it was a fantastic finale. I don't know what much else to add. It was great seeing young Luke get a little bit more attention in this episode. I thought they casted this kid as the young Luke and he's going to be able to do nothing. But in this episode, he actually did a little bit. So, and before I go, I have to say, I really did love "Hello there," line when he walks up to Luke. Like Owen allowed him to see Luke. Okay, fine. You know what? Even Owen has a little bit of a heart for Obi-Wan, so he couldn't like be an asshole and don't talk to him ever. It's like no. Okay, come talk to the kid. And Obi-Wan was able to give him the toy, which is something he has in the original films. So yeah, everything tied up really nicely. It put a big smile on my face. I was so engaged into this episode. Overall, I'm going to say that the show was really good. I really liked it a lot. I will admit, though, I think episode 4 was the thing that brought it a little bit down for me. I think this show would have been a lot better if they cut out episode 4 and like worked around that. I don't think they needed episode 4. It was just another rescue mission episode. You already rescued Leia in episode 3, so now we have to rescue her again in episode 4. A lot of people have pointed that out. It felt like an episode that was just there to fill in the 6 episode gap, when really this story should have either been a movie, a 2 hour and a half movie, or 5 episodes. That's how I looked at it. I don't think the 6 episode format always works. Sometimes a show needs to be longer. In this case, it needed to be shorter. And but for the most part, it doesn't ruin the entire series for me because I loved episode 1. I thought episode 1 and the finale had a great beginning and a great ending, and then had some really good episodes in between. I really did love episode 3 as well. I loved the previous episode before this one, the episode 5. I did like episode 2 quite a bit. It was only episode 4 really that really thought was the weak link of this season. And if that's the case, I think the show did really well. And even episode 4, even though it's the weakest episode for me, I enjoyed it still. I got a kick out of it more than most people, but I'll agree that we didn't need episode 4. So, with that being said, I think this is like an 8.5 out of 10 season. I really loved it a lot. If it wasn't for episode 4, this would be a 9 out of 10 season for me. But yes, I still really came out enjoying it all the way through. So there you go. That is my spoiler review. What did you guys think? Are there any moments I should have talked about in the finale or the series overall? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And with that being said, until next time, everybody, take care.